Hey everyone, my name is Kevin Bloom and I am the undergraduate internship coordinator here in kinesiology. And so in this video, I just wanted to highlight some key points that will help streamline the application process for your internship. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the general due date, or kind of the rule of thumb for when you should have your internship secured, your application submitted and approved, and everything basically taken care of. So if you're going to be doing your internship this summer or this fall, you want to make sure that all of your internship paperwork is submitted and approved and everything is squared away by the last day of the spring 2021 semester. So again, regardless of what semester you're doing it in, all your internship application, paperwork, and approval process should be completed the semester prior to when you do your internship. And this is just to help you, again, streamline the process, but also to avoid missing important deadlines that could potentially postpone your graduation or cause you to forfeit financial aid. So the key is just really be proactive. You can certainly turn things in before that last day of the semester prior to your internship. That's just kind of, like I said, a general rule of thumb, so that in case things pop up, you're not going to be negatively impacted. So the second thing then is going to be the approval process. So before you even start submitting the paperwork, submitting your application, it's important that you email me first and explain to me just briefly what your internship is going to entail, what the scope of it is going to be, what area, essentially what things you're going to be doing in your internship. And so once I give you the thumbs up, then you can go ahead and start filling out your application, getting all the required documents and moving forward. But please do not do that until, like I said, you've contacted me first and I've given you the thumbs up to do so. After that, like I said, you'll follow all the instructions here that are on this page. Submit your application. Once I approve your application, your site supervisor, which is whoever you will list on your application, who will be directly supervising you during your internship, they will receive an email asking them to also approve your internship. And so what I like to have students do is once you get the email saying that I have approved your internship, please follow up with your site supervisor to remind them that they also need to approve your internship, which is required for the registrar to be able to add kinesiology or KINES 493 to your class schedule. So again, just make sure that doesn't get hung up in the process. And then generally after myself and your site supervisor approve the application, it takes roughly a week before KINES 493 is going to be added to your schedule. So again, just be proactive, get it done early, so we're not going to be cutting it close with deadlines. Excuse me. The next thing then is that if you need to make a change to your application, let's say your site supervisor changes or you need to adjust the number of credits for your internship, that is all totally fine to do. You can even do that after your internship has started. If that does happen though, really just contact me, email me, and I can make those changes to your application so that we don't run into any issues later on when you are finishing up the internship. So just again, be proactive, communicate with me. The next thing is going to be if you're having difficulty finding an internship. This is a question I get a lot, that students are having difficulty maybe because of COVID or because they started looking for internships later in the semester. So again, besides being proactive, I would check with the student employment app on Bronco Web called Handshake. I would recommend reaching out to career services, asking for an appointment or a meeting with a career counselor. They'll be able to help you narrow down your options. You can also search for previous internships that current or previous students, where they've done their internships, to kind of narrow down the options. And so that link, as well as the directions, are also going to be on this page, so you can scroll down for being able, again, to find potential internships. And then the last thing that I would say is if you find a facility or a business or a clinic that you would like to intern, simply call them, walk into their office or their business and ask if they're accepting internships. So those are really going to be, again, the ways that all students have found internships in the past. So please do that first before contacting me. A lot of times, again, I'm not going to have this list. So again, please use those tips or those resources, and that will help you find an internship and make sure to do it early. So the last thing then is going to be what constitutes an acceptable internship. Another common question that I get is, are paid internships okay? And I would say yes, they are, as long as your hours are going to be supervised. So if you have a job and maybe it's as a physical therapy aide in a physical therapy clinic, or you're a personal trainer working in a gym, those are not going to be considered acceptable internship options, because those are simply things you're already doing for your job, which is great. But in those roles, you're not going to be having all of your hours directly supervised by your site supervisor. So just make sure that there is a distinction there, that you are getting that observation and that participation directly with the site supervisor, and that those hours are supervised. The last thing then is going to be, in general, make sure that the course content, the things you've learned throughout your degree here in kinesiology, that those things are going to directly apply to whatever you're doing in your internship. If it's not an obvious connection, or it's something very different, the chances of getting that approved by myself or career services is going to be very small. So anyway, I just wanted to cover those points, because like I said, those are some common questions that I get, and my hope is that will help streamline your internship process in terms of finding an internship, going through the application process, and getting everything squared away so that we meet the deadlines. That being said, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me, Kevin Bloom at boisestate.edu. I'm happy to do an appointment, but most of the information that you're going to need to get going on your application is going to be found on this page. So hope that helps, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.